Going to show you how to prep a cuff. So here is my cuff, it's interfaced, and we're going to fold it in half lengthwise, right sides together, and then we're going to fold one edge up 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. And now I'm just going to sew this short section with my seam allowance. In this case, it's 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. I usually don't press this in at this point, though you can. I find it easier to not press it in and press it later. Okay, then I'm going to clip this corner off, grade it down a little bit. Same on this side. And then turn it through. Use something pointy, but not too pointy. Use point turner, using a pencil. Just make sure you don't like shove it through and make a hole. There we go. This will be the inside with the fold, and this will be the outside here. Okay, let's sew the cuff onto the sleeve. So you'll have your sleeve inside out, and I've got my cuff prepped here. So I'm pinning the cuff, the part that is not folded down, onto right sides together onto the right side of the sleeve. So this is kind of inside this sleeve tube. I'm going to make sure that my folded edges are lined up, and I'm just going to pop a pin in there. On my patterns and most of the patterns I use, this would be a 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, but you need to check on your pattern, or depending on what you decided if you made the pattern. So I'm just pinning it around. This is that pleat, okay, that stays stitched in place. Just when you pin it, make sure that you pin it so that the pleat stays pleating in the right way. Make sure that that placket is totally unfolded. It should match up perfectly. If it does not match up perfectly, then you can go back and unpick that pleat and adjust the pleat size accordingly to make it fit. Okay? So I'm now going to sew it on. Just going to pull this side. This is that edge that we folded down when we made the cuff. I'm going to just pull that out of the way. Making sure, there it is. Okay, just making sure my edges are aligned. Just always pulling things out of the way and making sure everything's flat. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to flip this cuff up. You will press this seam allowance up into the cuff. Then what we're going to do is give it a feel. See if there's any bulk that needs to be graded away. If you're going to grade some away, grade the side that's got the cuff side. On this fabric, it's actually fine. I'm going to tuck this seam allowance up underneath, just like we did with the collar. Tuck it up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pin. I like to pin from this side. So this is the right side of the fabric. I like to pin exactly where I'm going to sew. I'm going to edge stitch it. And then I can just be sure that it's catching it on this side, because the worst thing that happens is you'll edge stitch, pin stitch, and then like you'll miss some of that cuff. So I'm just folding it down. Being sure it's caught nicely. Folding this edge up. Okay, now I'm going to sew that down, increase my stitch length to 3. Okay, check it on the other side. Fortunately, I didn't fall off. That's good. There it is. Give it a little press, and that's your cuff sewn.